What is going on, you guys? My name is Rage and we are back today with a video gameplay of the full difficulty level 6 here. As you can see, in my previous video we went through level 5 and it was actually pretty breezy given where our team was at in terms of the combat power. So as you can see here, with this difficulty we're going to be actually getting the expected run score 594,000. We go ahead and look at the rewards here for the milestones. We are actually going to be able to unlock Morgan Le Fay. So that's really ultimately the goal here. By exceeding 500,000 points, you will be able to do that. So you can do that through difficulty 5 with some Scourges, but for me, I like to kind of set a foundation right now for the time being. So we're going to go ahead, enter here at level 6, and start the run. So it is going to be almost the exact same characters as I went through in my previous video, because I did found that there was a lot of synergy being utilized. So I'm going to take advantage of that. So starting things off, I'm going to once again utilize the combination of Cersei and Icarus. But you know what? I also like the fact that we didn't get a chance to use the new warriors, but I believe Cloak and Dagger would actually be extremely useful as well. So I'm going to add them in there just because of the fact that we can switch things up with some footage here. Previously, I did have actually Captain Sam as well, so you know what? I like his synergy. I like the fact that he can generate energy. He's going to be preparing our guys and ensuring that they're ready to go. So let's go ahead with this. With this roster, we don't really have a true cleanse just because, you know, Cersei can do it, but it's not going to be sustained. So we have to be very mindful of it. Here, these nodes should be a little bit harder, but with the negative conditions, thanks to Cloak and Dagger, we should have a much better time. It should be very smooth. And again, I don't expect there to be much issues. As you can see, their total combat power is going to be around 80 to 100k. So we just need to be mindful of that. Once again, now let's go ahead, use Icarus' ultimate here. Should be able to take down quite a few of them. And just some beautiful damage and synergy right there. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and actually activate the ultimate, reduce turn meter, and still doing really good. I'm going to save the ultimate there for Captain Sam just because we don't necessarily need it. Just save these abilities. Keep in mind we're going to be using the hero characters once again in the next node, so you bet we can take advantage of that. Yeah, just having Cloak and Dagger with their negative conditions is just going to be absolutely, crushing through these nodes in terms of the negative conditions, giving us any advantage we can get, right? Something we definitely didn't have in the first one, just because we were trying to utilize the Secret Avengers, but any kind of advantage we can get, it's going to give us that battlefield edge over enemies here. So wrapping things up, as you can see, again, we're making short work, but we're being more conservative with energy this time around just because it's supposed to be harder with level 6. I think specifically, though, it's always going to be Node 5 and Node 10 where Web Warriors and Dark Hunters involved. That's going to make it always a little bit more difficult just due to the fact that they're restricted, right? So same team as always, you guys. Heroes restriction once again. Let's dive into Node 2 here. And so far, it's been no issues. A lot of my alliance mates have been able to unlock Morgan Le Fay already, so that's really good to hear. Let's see here. Starting off, we do want to take down ability blockers, but as you can see, even with that initial punch from Icarus, just able to take down so many enemies already. It's absolutely just the damage we can do, even in level difficulty 6, is actually really good. And again, Captain Sam with the supportive capability there, guaranteeing energy, but as well as being a taunt for our team. We don't really have a true healer on our team, but to be honest, I'm not even sure if we need it just because of the synergistics abilities of our team and being able to, have negative conditions. Again, we're going to utilize now Dagger's turn here to inflict some blinds across the board here. And ideally, I do want to save Icarus' ultimate because we can definitely utilize him later on as well in the cosmic nodes. And seeing as how this node is going to end soon anyways, we can save the energy for later on. Yeah, still not having an issue at all. So I mean, yeah, it's good to see how powerful they are. I may have to do even another video just on difficulty level 7 because I thought for sure this would be harder, but now that I've switched things up with Cloak and Dagger, we definitely are seeing just how powerful these team synergies are, especially when they're combinating with the internals there being Cersei and Icarus. Let's go ahead and finish off Moon Knight. Perfect. Yeah, and honestly, just basicing here. I feel like you can almost just auto attack the majority of these until it gets a little bit harder. Where it's gonna probably get interesting is the Web Warriors mixed in with the Dark Hunters nodes. There we go. We'll go ahead and finish her off. There we go. So first 2 nodes down already, and we're just gonna try and do this as fast as possible, just because it seems to be pretty streamlined. And again, even though we raised it up a difficulty level to unlock Morgan Le Fay. So far so good, you guys. So the next 2 nodes are going to be requiring global, so I am going to take advantage of again now the Secret Avengers. Dr. Doom is good as well. We can actually grab more energy, but a good recommendation is Omega Red, so I'll put him in the middle. And just seeing here who else can provide a little bit of support for us. You know, we can bring in Nick Fury to summon clones as well, but I do like the fact that having the full Secret Avengers is going to give us that synergistic combination here. So that looks good to me. Let's get ahead. Let's go ahead, guys. And yeah, it's nice to see. So far so good. Difficulty level from 5 to 6 still hasn't been translated too high. It still feels, honestly feels very similar to difficulty level 5, but mind you, it's also because our characters do have a higher power level. So right away from the beginning, even before going started here, you can see that these guys are getting quite a few attacks in. So I mean, I can imagine this being definitely a harder node if the difficulty does increase. You can see we finally now get a chance to move, and we are going to take advantage of this. So obviously the pain points here is a character such as Shang-Chi. Miss Marvel has a lot of assisted attacks, and as well as X-23. We're going to go ahead and activate our taunt here, granting energy, but as well as being able to taunt away damage. So we are going to go ahead now and use Sharon Carter just to hit Miss Marvel. Unfortunately, we had to taunt. I would have been really nice to actually utilize her capabilities there. You know what? Let's go ahead and start things off with the special here with Dr. Doom. Just in seeing how much damage, we can just wipe them out right away. Got to take advantage of his damage, especially with these guys being a little bit weaker. And I am actually going to activate the speed meter increase here just to ensure that we get a chance before them. But you can see now with the 4 characters remaining, we're just going to take our time here and clean up and really finish off these guys. Really want to focus on damage dealers so that way you mitigate as much damage as possible before the wave ends, but as well being mindful of the energy, right? As you can see, the moment it's down to the last 2-3 characters, I do always just try to use basic attacks because you want to maximize on saving as much energy as possible, especially in preparation for the next time you will use them in the run. So definitely taking a little bit longer here, as you guys can see, with this node definitely being harder than the previous difficulty. 7 minutes in, 3 nodes down. Let's keep this party going. So same team as well. Again, Secret Avengers, the synergies, new warriors. When we previously shown the Eternals, when you have all those character combinations, it's going to be very, very effective to utilize. So I am going to activate Omega Red's ultimate there just to put the ability block on Black Bolt, just because, you know, he has the most damage here, and if we're able to stop him from moving, it's going to be absolutely pivotal for us. I also do see that Karnak has a turn too. I'm going to prevent him from moving, and we're just going to continue our onslaught on Black Bolt just because he's got a lot of damage, and we want to definitely take him down before he gets his turn and getting rid of that ability block. There's a double tank here with Colossus and Juggernaut, so definitely if you can take down the damage dealers like Karnak, Black Bolt, it's going to be a much smoother time for sure. So that's why I did that. Then you got a combination here of actually power armor, so I mean, let's go ahead and see if we can take down damage dealers once again. They can't do much if we go ahead and do that, right? So let's go ahead. More machines down now. And they do have a cleanser and rescue, but like I said, it's not going to be an issue if we're not dealing with damage dealers. So we'll go ahead here. And you know what? I see that Juggernaut's getting a turn soon, so let's see if we can actually finish him off before. Yeah, just because he does get a lot of buffs when he starts off his abilities. So, I mean, fortunately, taken down there now. And again, now that we've gotten to this point, we can focus on the supportive casts. At this point, pretty smooth sailing. Not really many damage dealers left, so we're gonna go ahead and save a bit of our energy just because we're not sure when we're gonna utilize them next, right? So you always want to be, cautious and conservative, and making sure that you treat this almost kind of like Dark Dimension. It's in my opinion, it's a little bit more nitpicky than Dark Dimension, just because we're not going to be able to reset the nodes. Once a character goes down, they are down for the count for the entire run. So you do definitely have to be a little bit more careful. But good news is we can also still back out of the node if we do not get the right RNG here. So far, looking so good, guys. I'm going to go ahead and use Dr. Doom special once again. You know, why not? Clear the board, just because we can take advantage of his damage. And honestly speaking, it's his ultimate that we're truly after anyways. Save us a little bit of time there. Perfect. So that's 4 nodes down, guys. And now starting off, finally, it's probably going to be one of the more difficult nodes here. It's definitely the Web Warriors or Dark Hunters. So let's go ahead and utilize our team of Web Warriors. yeah, total team power 636k. So I'm very curious if this is gonna be good enough. As you guys can see on the left, my Dart Hunters are not built at all, so it'll be interesting if I can even use them to soak up Node 10 in the higher difficulties. I may have to even bring one of them up just to be able to do that, because I've been watching quite a few videos, and I know that Node 10 is definitely the one that's discussed the most in terms of hardest difficulty and getting through. So I mean, shout out to Scobie. At least this is a fun event. It's been fun to kind of experiment a bit and see you know, the combinations of different teams, encourage some theory crafting while you're at it, but at the same time also restrict us in a way because of the fact that we do have to be mindful of the teams that we can utilize as well as their abilities, right? So let's go ahead there. I guess a pain point here actually is a dagger, but fortunately she's not going to get her turn before she uses her ultimate, so we're going to finish her off. Yeah, so far looking so good, guys. Not too much issues even with this node so far, so I mean, good to see. It's unfortunate with these nodes that we don't have Ghost Spider's blind, just because it's not considered raids anymore. But I mean, at the end of the day, these guys still hit really good. And as you guys know, as you can see here, I'm trying not to use their abilities too much, because I do want to ensure that they have the right cooldowns in preparation later on for the next node here, and being the node 10. So I mean, that's why we're being conservative. We're not using any of their abilities because we don't need it. Best to save it, right? Especially like the stun, ability block. Yeah, and this is where it's going to cripple your team a bit. Fortunately, we took down their damage dealers, but as you can see here, this team is not good at taking down the negative conditions, at cleansing ourselves, right? So that's why we do have to be mindful. Unfortunately, all the down tiers are already taken down, so we're in a really good place. So not too shabs. Node 5, you can definitely tell if those negative conditions get on the Web Warriors team, it can definitely be a setback, but so far so good, guys. That's 12 minutes down, 5 nodes. So I mean, we're still making really good pace here. Now we're finally starting things off with the villain node. So I mean, if you recall, we did actually keep Dr. Doom for that reason. Let's see what else we got to deal with. I believe one of the characters I used previously before was actually Omega Red. I like Hela as a combination as well. We can even bring in revivals such as Minerva if need be, but personally, yeah, I'm gonna actually take down Nebula here. I do like Dr. Octopus, very powerful character as well. Ebony Maw has some defensive capabilities, so you know what, I do like that fact for that reason. And I am gonna swap Scientist Supreme actually for Emma Frost, because she's got that blind, she's got a cleanse, so we got some really good damage overall here and some good spreading of negatives. So I think this is a pretty decent combination team here. And again, at the very beginning, very, very dangerous team, right? If you're not careful. Drax being the tank here, but fortunately, we got Ebony Maw here with a defensive capability. So we're going to go ahead and activate that defense up, offense down. I feel like that's a really good safe call, especially in the higher difficulties. I would imagine that these guys are going to have a bit of an outburst in terms of damage overall. And now that we've actually got a chance here to actually fully utilize this moment, I used Dr. Doom's ultimate there, and you know what, we are going to go ahead and target Black Bolt, and we're going to activate a very devastating special attacker. Should be able to wipe the board here, and you know what, I hope I can replicate that in the higher difficulties as well, because that was just a beautiful combination. As you can see, they just didn't even have a chance to move, regardless of the fact that they actually had the speed advantage over us. So looking really good, guys. And as well as the number of tanks on their end. So I mean, just very powerful. Wow. And as you can see, most of my characters didn't even use their abilities, with the exception of Dr. Doom. So I feel for that reason, that's a really good way to save his ability there. And that's I'm glad I never utilized his ultimate in the previous nodes. So really try to build up that energy. And now we got a boss node here in Villains once again. Use Dr. Doom's ultimate, which is fine, but we're in a good position here with the rest of our team having the majority of their cooldowns ready to go as well. Perfect. And then yeah, I guess the pain point in this one is definitely going to be Silver Surfer, and as well as Death Pool. So I mean, let's go ahead here. What I want to do actually is, let's see if we can actually activate Omega Red's ultimate ability blocking Silver Surfer. We really do want to focus down on Silver Surfer, right? Death Pool's got her abilities coming up, but if we can blind her and finish her off, you know, that's why I love Hela's ultimate there. Beautiful. So yeah, we're looking like pretty good, guys. We're gonna leave the blinds there just because they're already impacted. They're not gonna get a hit on us, so we'll leave them be. and now we can focus on the other characters. I like targeting Loki because of the fact that, you know, he's got that shroud, and he can also summon clones, and that's super frustrating, especially when you're just trying to finish off an enemy. So hence that reason right there. Go ahead and finish off Cable. Yeah, we're looking good, guys. I'm gonna save the cleanse, you know, just because there's already these guys are already taken down. But you know, feel free at this point not to save energy, because you may or may not use some of these villain characters afterwards, just because it's gonna be cosmic nodes. But for me, I'm just used to kind of playing conservative, so hence me going forfeit and using basic attacks. Here we go. And then yeah, that just leaves Deathpool. And again, you guys, looking like a very, very smooth run. So definitely, I do think I'll need to go ahead and make another video on another higher difficulty. Even the 6 feels pretty good given my roster. But again, guys, keep in mind, I do have a pretty powerful roster where I'm at in the game. And just a lot of them are built on raids, right? The Doom 2.3 raids really prep me and myself and my alliance in preparation for this. So Cosmic, I think I saw online that a lot of people have opted to use the Infinity Watch. I think that's a really good team. But for me, a clear favorite is going to be the Icarus and Cersei combination. Even with them being significantly weaker than my Infinity Watch, just what they can bring to the table in terms of their synergies is just absolutely crucial for me. I'm also a big fan of the combination attack of Silver Surfer and Hela, as you may have seen earlier. I really am a big fan of her abilities. I am going to keep actually Kestrel here, because she's got a lot of strong capabilities and very self-supportive as well. So I mean, you can definitely swap her with characters like Deathpool. Even adding some more support such as Moondragon is good. Adam Warlock for support, but I think this is going to give us a good mixture of AoE damage and crowd control as well. So let's go ahead and see how this turns out. But yeah, having the core of Cersei and Icarus, they're just really going to be a nice backbone, especially in these nodes here. So starting things off, it looks like a couple troopers on the side there, and then Omega Red's going to definitely be an issue. So I'm going to go ahead and use Icarus's ultimate here. Main reason is because take down some of them, and then you can also do the double attack if a minion does taken down, right? And this is where we want to be now. And you know what? I am going to save the ultimate there for Silver Surfer, just because I don't really see the reason to use it. But then now that the rest of the team is spawned, you can see Kestrel Special absolutely just dominating the rest of that wave right there. So making very, very short work of this node already, and we barely even use any of our abilities. So looking good, guys. I mean, difficulty 6 is definitely not an issue, especially if you have a roster combat power similar to the characters I'm using right now. So looking good. Perfect, guys. And one more node to go here before the last and final Dark Hunter / Web Warrior. So let's keep this party going. Cosmic nodes right here. Okay, same team. Let's go. Yeah, so yeah, just some amazing synergies. I love the opportunity to theory craft and use different combinations, and Cosmic's definitely going to be one of the better ones. It's unfortunate though, because now me using Icarus's ultimate in the previous node, you know, we are going to be a little bit of a disadvantage here, just due to the fact that we won't have that from the get-go. But fortunately though, we do have Silver Surfer's ultimate, and seeing as there's a taunt there on Red Guardian, I can see this as a very valuable opportunity now to actually get rid of that, and that way we can actually have some free reign over attacks here. Now, what you ideally want to do is, we know that Shuri actually hasn't activated the heal yet, so you know what, let's go ahead and try to finish her off before that happens, which is good. And now we can focus on damage dealers. Yeah, so I don't like Agent Coulson, and just taking a look, you know, Nick Fury provides support as well. But otherwise, I think we're in a pretty good spot now that we've taken them down. I leave Red Guardian just because he doesn't do a lot of damage. But yeah, Iceman right there with the abilities, just seeing that he had a turn there. But you know what, let's go ahead and finish off Nick Fury before he gets any kind of more support. We do get to see a mixture of the Secret Avengers here, but keep in mind, guys, now that this is the last wave, we can actually go ahead and try to finish off all these the rest of this wave with our abilities. We don't need to, you know, be mindful of being conservative with our energy. We know that we're not using these guys anymore after this node here. So yeah, very, very smooth, guys. Even despite Icarus's cooldowns not being active, I gotta be more mindful of that next time though, because it would have been really nice to use that actually at the start of this node versus the last one, just due to all those buffs in the beginning, right? Especially with Shuri's defense up. So unfortunately, yeah, Hela does go down, so that's okay. But yeah, I mean, that's definitely gonna be the pain point here. wow, we actually do see quite a few of them go down in this node. So I mean, if you're not careful and not paying attention, I can definitely see where there's issues. But again, the backbone of Icarus and Cersei just making short work of these guys. So I got a little cocky there in that sense, but I mean, good thing we always had those characters as the forefront, and there was never going to be an issue, as that was the second last node. And now we can finally wrap things up with the Dark Hunter Web Warrior. So you know what, I do want to actually throw in my my weak Dark Hunters, because I am a fan of actually them soaking some damage. If they can even just take out one attack or so, I think that's going to give us a little bit of an edge, because I know with this node specifically, there are quite a few characters, yeah, as you can see, just instantly taken down. So it's going to be interesting to see if my Web Warriors can go through this with no issue. So there you go. Let's go ahead now and flip back to our Web Warriors here. And yeah, they're a little impacted right now because they're still kind of banged up from the previous node. But yeah, let's see if that was able to kind of do any help here in terms of the abilities. That was one attack, it looks like. And let's see how this goes now, because I think this is definitely going to be one of the main issues. There might even need to be some RNG factored in, but as you guys can see, fortunately we do have the power advantage against these guys. So I mean, at the end of the day, if we can pick off and take down some of them, that's good. So that's one down right there. And again, I do remember from my previous running that we do want to save the stun for Phoenix, actually, because you really don't want to be laying a bunch of conditions and then having Phoenix actually cleansing these guys. So I'm going to save that for sure, and then try to focus on any of the damage dealers here and making sure, let's see here, Storm and Cyclops are definitely two worthy ones that we need to be mindful of. But seeing as how Storm has the vulnerability, I'm going to go ahead and lay the speed meter reduction on her. And as well, I'm actually going to see if I can just utilize the ultimate here, do a little bit of damage, heal up my guys, because right now they are a little banged up from the previous node. But you can see, yeah, this is looking like it's going to be an impressive battle here. We can see that these guys are they got some good synergies, especially that X-Men team right there. Let's go ahead now. You know what? Seeing as how we do have some immunity here, let's go ahead and, you know, I'm thinking let's ability block Storm. We do want to weaken them up. And then yeah, now we got to this point. Thankfully, Miles Morales having the skirmisher really to ensure that they can strip negative conditions. But yeah, I mean, Colossus is definitely going to be an issue. You got the Ebony Mother as well, just inflicting this turn meter reduction and actually making sure that we have a slow as well. So I mean, definitely I can see this node having issues for sure. Let's see if we can finish off Thanos though. Yeah, just having the combination of tanks as well as Colossus being here. You can see now Cyclops just uses abilities, but thankfully didn't hit as hard as I thought it would. So that's good. That's good to know right there. We go ahead now and finally strip away the positive taunt from Colossus. And fortunately, we still have the stun with Spider-Man. So one of our guys go down, but like I said earlier, the game plan, we're going to activate the ultimate on Phoenix there. And then we're going to activate Trauma here on the rest of these guys, just to ensure that we can at least do a little bit of work there. Didn't seem to stick on them, unfortunately, but yeah, 3 Web Warriors down. So we may actually have to even let's see if we can wrap this up without having to restart, because obviously at the end of the day that would be good to know. All right, perfect. Good timing right here. Ghost Spider coming in absolutely clutch with her ultimate here. So this is exactly what I like to see. So it might even come down to the wire just like that, you guys. So you can see difficulty 6. We definitely saw the most difficulty challenge coming really from this final node. Everything else was pretty streamlined, straightforward. But there you guys have it. 602,000. We got some turn bonus just because we were really efficient going through it. But now as well, guys, we can go to rewards, and we are actually now going to be able to fully unlock Morgan Le Fay. As you can see, beautiful. Yeah, just getting to the last milestones here. So we did pretty good. Moved up quite a few milestones, just getting that 600k mark. So there you guys have it. Hope you enjoyed this quick brief video over difficulty level 6 with no Scourges again. That's a flat, nice rate. I feel like I'm pretty comfortable with this, but I may have to make another video on difficulty 7 just to see how I fare and see if we can push forward with my team and roster. So thank you as always, you guys. Hope this provides some insight in building your strategies as you push through and ultimately unlocking Morgan Le Fay. Thank you as always. I'll see you guys in the next one.